filling your time, giving people something to do or having something to do is probably one of the most important human principles. Obviously, as humans, there's an embedded thing in our spirit that we want to be independent. We don't want to be told what to do. And I subscribe to that thought process. I have that. I try to live my life on my terms. However, look, when you're very young, 0 through 18, you're kind of told what to do in school and in society because, you're very underdeveloped. You can get yourself in a lot of trouble. So, the best thing you can do for your kids, right, outside of, putting them in regular schooling is get them involved in sports or after-school activities. Because obviously the more time you have on your hands, the more you get in trouble. And, look, once you survive, hopefully past immaturity stages of life, like 0 through 25, and as you get into your late 20s and 30s, hopefully you learn how to give yourself something to do that's positive, that's productive, and that pushes you closer to your goals. Because if you don't fill your time with those things, positive, productive things, you're going to fill your time with destructive things, and just doing nothing for too long of a period destroys your well-being. I talk to my mom sometimes who's elderly in her 70s, and if she doesn't have something to do, she's retired, she's in her 70s, her body, she'll just lay around all day and she'll feel worse physically and mentally. She feels a little bit better when she's filling her time doing something active. Sometimes she even picks up little side jobs and like cleaning an apartment. And even though it hurts her a lot to do that, she goes, Sam, it helps me because it gives me something to do and I keep myself moving and I need that. See, some people are self-starters. They're very good with keeping themselves on track, managing their time. They're very disciplined. Some people are very lethargic. I think most people are very lethargic. And structure is needed. Whether you are fully able, whether you're disabled, whether you're a senior, whether you're incarcerated or in rehab. Look, everyone needs some structure of the day to keep them doing something productive and positive. I mean, without that, the human spirit, as much as it wants to be independent, will become dependent become like a slave to itself. Like, you have to discipline yourself. You have to make yourself do certain things. Without that, you're not independent. Like taking a nap or laying around all day or just like being lethargic, like that doesn't mean you're independent. Being a sloth is not being independent. You're not deciding what to do with your time. You can't discipline yourself enough to do something with your time. And that's a big difference, learning to, I don't want to say master yourself, but master yourself, discipline yourself, focus yourself, direct your energy, look at the time, push yourself to the next task. The human needs something to do. Okay? And if it doesn't have something to do, it's going to get itself in trouble. Many people get into relationships because they're bored. Many people overeat because they're bored. Boredom, idle time, devil's playground. A lot of people, they tell me like, Sam, it's awesome, man. You're very fortunate. You're middle-aged. You're single. You got no kids. You do whatever you want, whenever you want. And I admit, look, I like it like this. I mean, everything has its pros and cons, but sometimes some people I know, they get a divorce or they go through a breakup. And then if they're single and if they don't have a house, if they don't have something to do, they get antsy and they start self-destructing. Sometimes why most people need a house, they need something to do. Even though like they'll bitch and moan about the honey to-do list, the lawn, maintenance, they need something to do. Like some people, they'll complain about their spouse, but they couldn't be alone because they need something to do. People need something to do. Now, I don't think that's healthy just to do something for the sake of doing it, but when people can't discipline themselves, that's what they'll do. But you learn this principle very young in school, getting kids involved in sports, which I was involved in some sports. And, I also, you get into some trouble. You be a youth, you hang out with the wrong people sometimes, or just being immature. But you'll see, too, even in bad neighborhoods, they try to build community centers and things for kids to do to stay out of trouble. And There's wisdom in that. There's wisdom in occupying your time, even if you're doing something that's not like this great adventure. If you're doing something, a lot of times it's better than doing nothing. Because if you're doing something, that's another hour that you're not doing something bad. If you're, playing basketball, that's an hour, that you are not drinking alcohol. If you're playing tennis, that's an hour that you're not hanging out with your ex. It's like, there's a drug addict motto that every day you get through without using drugs is a win. And it's like same thing, but what's a day? A day is only a bunch of hours. And what are hours? Hours just how you spend your time. So how do you spend your time? Well, sometimes even if you're not doing something great, just doing something keeps you away from drugs, alcohol, bad relationships, bad things. Again, it just keeps you in this algorithm of success. I often say, like, don't be one of these people that just sit in your car if you do the gig economy and just look at your phone and cherry pick orders. Yeah, sometimes you may not always make the optimum pay if you accept majority of orders, but you're going to keep yourself doing something. And that'll keep you out of trouble. And that'll keep you this overall algorithm of success in life. I believe in that. Especially as I get older, especially as I get more mature. Because people who stay immature, who get themselves in trouble, even in adulthood, it's because they don't manage their time, they get into trouble. And humans need something to do. So those are my thoughts, and so keep yourself active, manage your time, have a list of things to do, write them down in your phone, something that you don't want to do, something that something like the gym, something like laundry, something for your job, something to create money, something for a side hustle, something to start your business, and something fun, walk in the park, swim in the ocean, etc. Keep your time filled, keep your time managed. Because that's all part of a well-lived life. What is life? Time. How do you spend your time? Well, you got 80 years. How do you want to spend it? Especially as an adult, between 25 to 65, you really get to control a lot. Now, a lot of people have kids because they get bored, and then their kid controls their time, and then they become empty nesters and they don't know what to do themselves. That happens to a lot of people, believe it or not. Happens to a lot of people. And so you got to be very careful. So a lot of people don't know what to do with their time. They don't know how to stay productive, positive, and so whatever. For whatever it's worth, I hope these videos help. If they do, click that thumbs up. You want to support the channel, click that blue join button. Also, check out my playlist. Thousands of free videos about life insights like this, about moving to Florida, about living the nomad simple life, about all these different things, that just have inspired me and that keep me motivated, keep me moving towards life. So, you just come to learn in life that there is no grand answer. There's daily disciplines, and there's small consistency that builds over time that creates progress and that creates the best life possible. Use your talents, use your gifts. But to use your talents, to use your gifts, you got to manage your time. Because if you have all the talent in the world, but you don't have something to do, you're going to get yourself in trouble. So what should you do? Think about what you're good at and do it. And if you're not good at something, spend time learning how to do something. And then build your confidence, build your mojo, build your momentum. And then over time, you build up skill sets, and that keeps you doing stuff, You can spend years learning how to do something, keep you busy. Some people learn a language, they learn a trade, they learn nursing, they learn, music, you learn something, learn videos, learn technology. So, keep your time filled, though. When you're not doing something, you're going to get yourself in trouble. And you're going to start gossiping, drinking, smoking, self-destructive behavior. And it's just the way it is. And so understanding human nature and understanding what gets humans in trouble is a good thing, because that can make you knowledgeable and keep you away from allowing yourself to self-destruct. I believe most stress is self-induced. I believe it through even my own experience in life. So, if we can avoid some of the self-induced stress, we can improve our life and make it a better life. Okay? Peace.